Greetings, fellow stonecutters. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld Lycan Legion, Episode 13, Quarry Quarters. The first thing I'm going to do this stream, as you can see above my head, is to construct the stone mason building. I would like to set up a dedicated stonecutter and quarry building. And that is what I'm going to be working on. And then I'm going to be polling you guys about the next goal. We also have Hummingbird here, soon to be enslaved, only with a will of 1.5, so it shouldn't be very long until she is clinked in a slave collar and allowed out. And cheers to everybody that resubbed. Thank you kindly. So let's work on this quarry. I'm going to set up the quarry here, and then I'm going to use the overhead mountain as part of the design of this quarry, like that. I'm going to set this up with just a singular platform, and then I am going to move the stonecutter tables in here. I also would like to build extra tool cabinets, dedicated tool cabinets specifically for the stonecutters. So this is essentially going to be the layout for the stonecutter quarry. And I think what I'll go ahead and do is fence it off like this. I think it kind of looks nice like that. But I will want it to be a physically enclosed area. So I'm going to use the very fancy ghost walls to functionally enclose it. And then let's put a real wall here, which I'll put a torch on, and then doors here. Pretty straightforward. And then that will allow our, like a road to come up this way as well. The other thing I'd like to do is, for the aesthetics, is to put straw matting down where it is to, quote-unquote, cut down on the filth. Not that it will functionally really do that, but that will be our quarry district. What are ghost walls? So ghost walls are invisible walls that will enclose an area. So if we take a look at this building, for instance, it's a physically enclosed area, and that's because I have ghost walls lining the fence areas so that it physically encloses it for the aesthetics. Because, you know, in Ancient Realm, they didn't really have like a lot of open buildings, right? Like you had a lot of courtyards and a lot of foyers and things like that. So I'm trying to design it in such a way that it doesn't seem so small box with the door design. It makes sense in the case of like a greenhouse, but for every other structure, I wanted it to feel more open. And to that end, there was a new mod added, which is panels, frames, and stairs, which we could research next if you so voted on. Speaking of research next, let's put that to a poll. Might as well. Where is my poll? Oh, here it is. No, that's not the poll. Okay, here it is. Okay. Poll looks a little bit different, but same sort of same sort of voting schema. And there's the timer. So for research next, we are currently researching great bows so that we can defend ourselves a little bit more easily. But we could invest some time into recreation stuff, like oh, is the poll not counting? What is it, lagging? That's weird. I see tons and tons of votes, and I don't see the votes being counted at the moment. Let me try something here. No? That didn't do it. I think the poll is frozen? Hang on a minute. Oh, like the website I'm using for the poll, like, crashed or something. I did see tons and tons of frames and stairs votes roll in, though. But yeah, I'll reboot that. So ignore that. I'll poll later once it's working. I'll try to get it working in the background. Yeah, okay, it just blew up. Got it. A hunting site by the Union of Gopmepoin. That's a very interesting name. Alright, I'm gonna hide that forcefully. Right? It's just the laws of being a streamer is like something has to fail. And I'd rather have my polling fail than my internet connection. So like, all things considering, I guess I'll count myself as lucky. The other thing I'm going to need to do is to queue up the refining steel, because I have a lot of projects getting queued up that require steel. So we have the tool benches, and then we have the quarry itself, and just a whole lot of other things are going to require steel. Oh, goats! Well, I already have stuff that I can milk, so I think we're just going to eat a lot of goat. I'm not ready for even more penned animals. Maybe sometime in the future when we have a much greater population and we actually have the man/wolf power to actually manage them. But at the moment, they'd be more of a burden than a asset. How's our project coming along? It's about 2/3 done. Scipia still has 3.5 days of inspiration, so there should be plenty of time. Okay. Well, it's funny, because in the pre-stream I was like, I really hope polling doesn't break. And then I said it out, I said that out loud, and polling broke. Oh, I had to open my big fat mouth. Oh, and now like I see myself lagging or something? No, it was a hiccup. Okay. Touch wood next time? Luckily, my desk is wood, so that's fortunate. So Hummingbird is now will broken and should be enslaved pretty soon. And there we go. There is the quarry. So with this mini quarry done, I'm gonna set quarrying to like a level 4 priority. And I'm going to have them quarry chunks. Now, I do realize they can quarry blocks straight away. I just don't want them to. I don't want to skip the stone cutting process, as it doesn't feel reasonable to quarry up perfectly cut stone. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Man, I am so bummed that right as I start, I was like, oh man, I created all these polls ahead of time, and they're all preset and ready to go, and then the game was just like, ha, no. Damn you! Alright, there's 3 of the 4 goats. Elba is going for the last goat now. And I'm going to have Lillipore grab the ambrosia before all the wild animals eat it. Nope, that's not all of it. Still not all of it. I hate when they, like, haul separately. And they're just on a different path now. So it's like, I can't even get them to haul it correctly. Fine. Canius, you're going to haul the next load. This brings back Jurassic Park memories. Oh, and now alpaca self-tamed. Okay. What's a little annoying about that is, I don't have need of more meat, as we just, like, butchered a whole bunch of goats. Although it is getting pretty close to below freezing, so maybe the meat won't spoil. Because I know that we needed meat for our grill food, because we're just about out. In fact, Bebo, I'm going to have you butcher and start a grill now so that we don't start eating the ruined grill. Even in the middle of the night. That's how much of a grill master you are. What I'll probably end up doing is, like, temporarily pausing the stone cutting. Just so that the rest of the building can be built before we invest any time into cutting there again. And the other thing we're probably going to want in that room is some radiators for heat. So I'll put the radiators there. And then on top of that, I think we're very close to our heat capacity. Yeah. So I'm going to want another log boiler, which is even more steel. So we're going to be using a lot of steel. We already have made the two tool cabinets, which was like 400 steel. And it's only going to get more expensive from there. That'll work. Come on, polling. Start working. Well, if the polls don't start working, I'm going to start picking the research projects and the construction projects for myself, rather than to try to, like, figure out how to set up polls through Twitch. Because Twitch polls don't allow for as many options as I have to poll on. Yeah, poke it with a stick. Maybe that'll get it to work. Alright, Hummingbird is officially enslaved. So, let's set that up. First thing we want to do is the giveaway for Hummingbird. So, raffle timer's right here, right above my head. And good luck. Alright, so Hummingbird, you are going to be given slave apparel, slave meals, no drugs. Zoning is correct, and then work priorities. Construct, quarry, craft. Alright, she already has all of her slave apparel on. She's not fully suppressed, unlike... actually, Canius is not fully suppressed either. So... maybe an execution is in order at some point. Or, you know, beatings or whatever. I'll figure it out. And the grand sculpture, the temple sculpture, is done. It was probably excellent quality. Yes, excellent quality. So for now, I'm going to stick it in the Triclinium. This work represents an eclipse. Oh, yes. Our Lycan are eclipsed by the deities. That makes sense. And then once this structure's done, it will be enclosed, roofed up, and heated so that there is not a work speed penalty. Well, don't you be flirting with him, or you're going to lose a tongue. Tried to attract Doris by mentioning her own artistic skills. He turned away. Your own artistic skills? Excuse me? Can someone explain to me what she means by her artistic skills? No wonder he ignored her. The worst pickup line in the history of all pickup lines. Hey, I'm a little bit of an artist myself. Oh, are you really? He rolled his eyes so hard it hurt. Alright, so we have the Stonecutter Workshop. Cool. Perfect. I actually really like the way it looks. I think I am going to expand the smithy a little bit so it lines up horizontally with the stonecutter, though. So I'm gonna expand that a little bit, and then I think I am going to pick the next project thereafter. A skylight above the quarry pit. We have torches. Scipia has inspired recruitment. Unfortunately, there's no one to recruit. And good luck in the raffle. Ooh, scary, stormy. Alright, it is pretty temperate in these buildings. I want to do a little bit of remodeling for the triclinium, but not big. Not much at all. Shellbell, thank you for the resub. Alright, I'm giving the polling software one last chance to reboot here. But if it doesn't, I'm going to start picking for myself. That will look better. Okay. Yeah, it didn't work. So copy that. Next project. Build a pantheon. Long overdue. So I am going to build a pantheon. Also, the raffle timer's up, so Hummingbird goes to Paragadog. I think the character redemption raffle is still working. Is that right? No, I have it deactivated. Let me fix that. There we go. Character details is up. So there were a few little projects that I wanted to do before the Pantheon, but then we'll get Pantheoning, if that could be a verb. And a bulk goods trader coming in. Nice. So the thing about the Pantheon is we are going to want an incredible amount of marble ahead of time. So I think what I'm going to do is, now that we have an actual quarry area, I'm going to create like a chunk dump zone here. And this one will just be for marble, so that we can start hauling marble where it needs to go. Maybe if I'm really lucky, this bulk goods trader will have marble blocks, but I somehow doubt it. But they might be able to buy the alpaca that I have, because I don't really need to butcher the alpaca. So that could work. Alright, the smithy is a little bit more spacious now. And I'm going to be moving things around a little bit. There we go. Elba with Inspired Tame. What is your animal skill? 7? Bison are, what, a 7? No, 5? Alright. Elba, I'm going to have you go tame a bison so that we can sell a bison to this bulk goods trader too. The art bench can be removed. We no longer need it. And then Scipia. Let's get you to trade with these good visitors. So, bison, alpaca being sold. And let's see. I am going to buy their Tyrian fabrics, because at some point I'm going to want to make something fancy out of them. Some beat up toques I could definitely get rid of. Some old pants and tribal wear. Oh, and sell the yak as well. Yeah, thank you. Yak. Alright, yak's gone as well. Is there anything I want to buy? So they have a lot of herbal medicine, but I don't feel like I need to buy that stuff. I don't need light leather. I might just buy buffalo meat so that I don't have to hunt. Being lazy and all. There we go. And dismissed. Eggs keep for a long time. So these are good for like 20 more days, and it's going to be even longer as we're heading into the winter. Which is why it's pretty nice to have excess eggs, because they don't spoil in a within a reasonable time frame. Okay. Cool. So one of the changes I wanted to make down here was the foods that we eat. The grills need to stay warm. So I'm adding more radiators to the triclinium, because the triclinium is a very open building and it would benefit from being warmed a bit. And then once that's done, I'll start on the Pantheon. In fact, I'll start on the Pantheon now. So, let's talk about the Pantheon. Is there a benefit to dismissing the traders immediately? Yeah, they can make a mess while they're here. And I don't necessarily want a mess, so getting rid of them is kind of a bit of a benefit. I don't need them hanging out during a snowstorm. All right, so what I'm doing here is I'm marking down where roads are going to be, so I don't intrude upon where I plan roads. And let's think about the Pantheon. So we have 3 relics that are holy to us, and these is where I'm going to put the relics. I'm actually going to nudge this over a little bit. I'd like to give a lot of space for the Pantheon. Pantheon is a very important building, and as such, it needs a very large swath of space. Okay, I like that layout. So let's move the caravan trade spot to out of town, and we'll start filling this in. So the first pass for this is I'm going to wall up the area with walls, but I'm not actually going to do it. I'm just laying it out so that I can visualize the space a little bit easier, because the plans are kind of, they blend in. So we're going to have the 3 reliquaries here, and I'd like the entryways here. And I want the entryways to be nice and open, with like marble columns welcoming people inside. And maybe with even fences like this instead of walls. And then that means we're going to want doors maybe like that. With ghost walls. So that we can enclose the space. Alright, so that's still enclosed now. Then back here, I'll probably also have fences, just so it feels less heavy and more open. And maybe put columns in there as well. And I'll put 1 column kind of in the center. I don't really like these side columns. I like it. I like the design. I got significantly far away from it feeling square, which was the big goal. And we're going to need a new altar here. And then the rest of this stuff can move. The altar just can't be uninstalled. So down here will be reliquaries, and then we'll have the lectern, and then we'll have the pews. So I'll do 4 pews to start. And then the eventual idea is once we have a much larger population, we can add, you know, significantly more pews to the rest of the facility to accommodate a large colony. But I like it. All right, the next thing is cutting any of the trees, which will take a long time for builders to clear that are in the way. I think it's just those that I highlighted. So Bebo, I'm going to have you go cut these few trees. And then I also inset it from the curb here, so that I can have sort of an area around the temple dedicated to it, to, you know, traversing it, so that it's not cramped or anything like that. Oh, we didn't finish the plumbing for down here. But it's not cold yet, so I guess it doesn't matter. Nice. The reason I wanted a pantheon is, you know, we, as any good Romans, believe in the gods. And without a proper pantheon to pray at, we do the gods a disservice. So, even though, like, Maxis... Actually, speaking of Maxis, let's move his bed. Maxis, you're gonna sleep here. Even though Maxis doesn't have, like, a bathroom or a bedroom, and, you know, a lot of other projects are in flux, I was like, yeah, let's do Pantheon. I feel it. Good, and we have the second boiler, so that we'll be able to accommodate some additional radiators. Speaking of radiators, we are going to want radiators in this room as well. So let's do large marble radiators here and here. And then we're also going to want some sort of, like, light in the area. So we'll set the lights up there. It won't perfectly... Actually, you know what I could do? Instead of a column... That could work. I'll do it like that. I mean, a column with a torch on it would make more sense, but I don't have a mod for that. Ooh, an infestation. Where? Down here? Yep. Looks like a face upside down? Yeah, something like that. Maxis is going to be a little late to this fight. Because he's frail and with bad leg scars. Alright, here we go. Archers, fire on the scary one. Wow, that mega spider shredded the fence so fast. Was there no mega scarabs? I guess there weren't. Alright, Canius, you are bleeding pretty quickly. I think what I'm going to do is allow herbal meds for the slaves, because the faster they recover, the faster they go back to work. And let's go ahead and start filling this insect-attracting void with material. And there's one up here as well that could use backfill as well. You're done, you're done. Genius, you're all healed. Lillipore, you have one cut. You're fine, you're fine, you're fine, you're fine. Alright. The horses are all tied up. So Darius, I'm gonna have you repair the fence, because until we do, the pen's not a pen, it's broken. And then Bebo, sorry to cut your... Oh no, you're in outside handling. Maxis? Alright, I'm gonna send Maxis over to rope everyone into where they're supposed to be. The gender-separated pens. Well, that could have gone worse. Wasn't too bad. And now all the animals are where they're supposed to be. Perfect. I'm going to tell the farmers to stop sowing for now. I'd rather have them work on other things, like cutting down trees around the pantheon. Ambrosia sprout number... Oh, I don't even know what number this is. Ambrosia 2 still has a little bit of ambrosia left in it. Where is the other ambrosia zones? Ambrosia 1 is empty, so this one will be the new Ambrosia 1. Where was it? Yeah, here it is. One way to do is do a shrink zone to find the old zones. So this is Ambrosia 4. So I think this is technically number 5. Maybe I'll just label it as number 5. There we go. Tie-Dye, thank you for the resub. And Shaw, I'm glad you liked Hedge Knights. I do hope to return to it. I know it didn't get a proper ending, and I do intend for it to at some point. Life got considerably busier than I was ready to deal with, which is why it took a backseat. And then we're going to want heating for the Pantheon too, so I got that set up. Nice. Break risk, is that just in pain? Yeah, pain, barracks, sleep, insulted. Yep, the usual. We don't butcher insects, so in this butchery, we should take out the insect corpses, because there's really nothing that we want to do with the insect corpses. And let's put insect corpses down here. I know I could turn it into kibble. Actually, you know, that's not a terrible idea. Yeah, that's honestly not a terrible idea. So this is going to be butcher non-bugs. And we'll do a new one, which is butcher bugs. Butcher bugs is going to be underneath butcher non-bugs, because it's... And then after that, we'll do a make kibble forever, and the kibble will be made of hay and insect meat. And I suppose that also means that I would need to allow insect meat on the shelves in our kitchen so that we don't haul the meat away and then not be able to make kibble more easily. Except for you're hauling the meat away because there's nowhere to store it on these shelves. But that will be fixed pretty soon. Would it be a cost-benefit ratio in positive to grill up insect meat? No. We don't think that way in this series. It's not about min-maxing. So I don't consider min-maxing to be a valid school of thought, regardless, if that's an okay answer. Great bow is researched, and I'll do panels, frames, and stairs next, because when I attempted to pull for it, it looked like that's what people were voting on before the polls went kaput. Should I re-enable bugs in the butcher zone? Yes. Yeah, I went ahead and did that. Ooh, that's not good. You don't really want to set up torches when it's raining on them. So let's try to get a roof over those torches, or they're, as you can see, the fuel days are just going to plummet. Alright, that should be good enough. A quest for Raider Camp. Guarded by 4 tribespeople. The rewards are kind of terrible. How far away is it from Lycan? I think I would have to accept to see, but no, I'm not that interested in being drawn away at the moment. We don't have like a standing army that would be a reasonable to be dispatched to events like that. So we are sitting on a whole lot of kibble, which is good, because we had tons and tons of hay. And once the pantheon walls are done, I'll start queuing up the task to get floors in there. We also are going to need an altar too. Oh, yeah, it's enclosed. So now I just have to go to the, to make sure to remove the roof where we don't want roof. Alright, that looks about right. Perfect. I like the layout of the building. It's open, doesn't feel so heavy. And the next step is going to be to get floors in it, and then to also get the altar and the pews so that it's fully furnished. Come on, polling. It's still broken. Booey. Now, the big thing is, it's going to be really hard to keep up with our marble demand. So one of the things I wanted to do, because I want to utilize as much room in behind our initial walls as possible, is to quarry some of the granite and marble in the surrounding hillsides. So we don't have to go so far for it, because Darius can mine that stuff up very fast. That's not much of a bottleneck. Why aren't you sleeping in your bed? In fact, why were you sleeping at all? You weren't even sleepy. You just took a nap. That was weird. Alright. And I had... yeah. I was gonna say, I had queued up the filling up of the bug cave so that they wouldn't spawn. Perfect. Didn't I have Maxis on a night owl schedule? I did. I don't know why I was sleeping on the ground here. That was the curious thing. So he is on a night owl schedule, but I caught him sleeping at the forge or the bloomery for I don't know why. I could only speculate. Cheers. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld Lycan Legion, which originally streamed live on Twitch September 16th. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you would like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching, and a special thank you to my Patreon patrons, Twitch subscribers, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow Lycan.